What is going on, guys and girls? We do have girls that watch the channel also. How about that? You might see my black lack behind me. Those of you guys that have been or do follow me on Facebook, you've seen I've been driving my tan lack, my lowrider, a pretty good bit. One, a few reasons. One, I enjoy that car. Two, want to show you can daily drive a lowrider other than eating tires up. And the main reason, it has heat. This one does not. And today we're going to see if we can change that because it's getting cold and I kind of need to drive this a little bit more. So before we do that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're going to check this out and see if we can get a little bit warmer. Check this out. Woo! It's like the only Fleetwood I have that does that. Every other one you got to kind of beat on the hood, shake it a little bit. This one pops right up. This is very nice. Alright, so there may be a few different factors why you're wanting to change your thermostat. Mine, I believe what it is, I think it's stuck open and it's not letting it quite get up to operating temperature, thus not putting heat into the car. If you are dealing with a heat issue, this is kind of the video for you, I guess. I'm going to show you what to look for, kind of determine how to figure out what you need, I guess is the easiest way of saying it. So we're going to kind of dive in here. I'm going to show you what we got going on. First and foremost, you want to make sure you don't have no leaks. You also want to make sure that those hoses there, those are your heater core hoses, you want to make sure they're not bypassed, put in a loop or anything like that. I did feel them. They both have a little bit of heat. I haven't drove this car yet much today, but when I was driving it, they do have a little bit of heat. You want to make sure your cap isn't leaking because if you're losing pressure, it won't send coolant up through the heater core. And you also want to make sure you have a good water pump. You know, chances are if you don't have a good water pump, the car is probably already overheating, so yeah. Alright, we're on the inside. This is the glove box right here. I'll just get you pulled in pretty close. But what you can see you can see right about there, you see a little flat slot looking thing? That is your temperature control blend door. Basically, it turns it from hot to cold, blows the air over the evaporator or the heater core. You want to make sure that works. And the way to make sure that works, basically just move your temperature up and down on your dash. I'm going to kick the key forward here in a second, move it up and down, and let you guys see what it does. Alright, that should be all the way up on heat. We're going to bring it down. All the way down to 60. And you see it starts to turn. Bring it back up. And you see it start to turn again. So that is working. Now there is a possibility that the door itself inside is broken, but I doubt it. You'd usually hear a lot of noise from it going up and down or something rubbing that's broken, so don't really believe that's going to be a problem here. So therefore I'm pretty much ruling it out to a thermostat. That's going to be my best guess. So we're going to throw one in here, see what it does. Should go without saying, have your vehicle cold, cool. Obviously you don't want to open up the coolant system with it at 195 degrees because it'll probably shoot out and probably burn you pretty bad. So yeah, definitely work on it when it's cold. That'll just make it easier. You won't be getting burned on the engine either. So we're about to dive into it. Probably gonna drain some of the coolant out and get to it. And before you get started too far pulling hoses apart, always be very leery of that little fitting there. It's a little T, it's plastic. They get very brittle. They're easy to break. Now there's a few different ways you can go about draining the coolant. There is a petcock down at the bottom of the radiator you can undo. You can undo the lower radiator hose from the radiator. I think what I'm gonna do is undo my heater core hose right there. Once I kind of keep everything away from the engine. I don't really care to drain the whole coolant system if I don't have to, but if you undo your top radiator hose, good possibility you can get a lot of water on the distributor, which is a pretty big deal on LT1s. Don't want water getting into that if we can help it. So yeah, I'm gonna pull my lower heater core hose and put a drain pan under there and just let it drain out. Open up my radiator cap, kind of help everything flow. Use my little hose clamp tool. If I was smart, I would put this in the link off of Amazon, which I guess I should do. You guys can get you one. You can also use the Amazon affiliated link, and that'll help out the channel. Won't cost you no money. And you can do it on anything. Doesn't matter if you're buying tools, parts, or what you're buying. I'm gonna grab a pair of pliers, twist that. Anything that you buy going through that link, give us a kickback, which is pretty sweet. While we're letting that drain, we're gonna start taking off our air intake plastic stuff. That way we can get to the thermostat a little bit easier. Those up there are 1/2 inch. And that'll be a flathead screwdriver. Another one back there. As I'm taking this off to be able to access that hose clamp back there. And might take it off here. Might just pull the whole thing. We'll kind of see how it goes. That's never what you want to find under there. Next, I'll unhook the air intake temperature sensor. Be kind of careful with this. Plastic is getting brittle in these old days, and it's cold. As you can see, these are just crumbling apart. That's cool, falling right into our coolant that I was going to kind of try and save, but by the looks of it, maybe I won't. Pull this little vent out here. Set it aside. I'm probably going to take this whole box off. That seems to be the easiest. Get ahead and pull our throttle body. And I guess I'm going to just take it off right here at the mass airflow sensor. Seems simple enough. Don't believe there's anything else hooked up to this little baffle box. Memory serves me correctly. So we'll pull that. Really don't even have to get that out of the way, but seems to be the easiest. There we have that. Set it aside. And one thing I'll probably do while I have this off, clean that out with brake clean a little bit. Get some of that carbon buildup out of there. That will help airflow a pretty good bit. And as you can see, we can get to our thermostat pretty easily now. Those should be 10mm bolts, I do believe. So I'm gonna go get a socket and a ratchet and pull it, see what we got. I was correct on being 10mm. As you see, I'm not using a impact. I'm not really a fan of using impact on aluminum stuff. I'm not saying that you can't, I'm just saying I don't. Alright, let's make a mess. That could have been way worse. And there's our thermostat. It's stuck in there pretty good. I don't guess it's a bad thing. It doesn't look like it was stuck open, which isn't really a good thing in this case. Put that in there, throw a bunch of water everywhere. Put it somewhere hot, I guess. There we go. Now this is our old one, which I don't really see anything wrong with it. Doesn't look to be stuck open. I have a feeling we go up to a 195. This is a 180 as well. My new one's a 180. Usually they will be marked on it. This one was made in America, which is cool. But yeah, it shows right there, 180. This one here is a lot harder to see. If you look down that little brass, it says 180 as well. So we'll toss it in there, see what it does. I kind of have my doubts, unfortunately, but we will see. Maybe this will fix it. If not, we'll just throw parts at it till it does, right? So we got that. Take a quick peek at this. That looks pretty good and smooth. Doesn't look like any major corrosion buildup that would cause a sealing issue, so that's good. Start those by hand. I'm sure the Ugga machine. There we go. As you see, I just snugged it up. I just have my hand right here on the ratchet. Those are aluminum threads. You don't really have to torque the hell out of them. Just want it enough to not leak. A little brake clean on here. Get it all in our eyes. It feels great when you do. Clean that up just a little bit. Kind of open up the throttle plates and clean it just a hair as well. Not really trying to completely saturate the motor, but just trying to get that opening a little bit smoother for all my maximum horsepower. the whole 230 some horsepower LT1's put out, I think is what it is. I'm gonna grab a vacuum and vacuum all that off. I'm gonna throw our big air baffle back on there. And apparently at one point or another, somebody cross-threaded the hell out of that bolt. So that's cool. I'm not really gonna mess with it too much, other than just trying to get it lined back up. Get that pushed down in there just like so. Tighten her up. Nice and tight. Give it a few snug-a-duggas. Pull out our coolant and see how nasty it looks. Really hard to tell whether that's the red or the green. But yeah, it does look pretty nasty. You'd almost think green with some rust. Not 100% sure there. So I'm gonna go ahead and start filling up the coolant system again. Pretty sure it's red that's in there. That's what's supposed to be in there. Not saying that's all the time the case, but best I can tell, it looks red. So I'm gonna go with some Dex Cool back in here. Hopefully I won't regret that decision. But that's what we're gonna go with, because like I said, that's what's supposed to be in here. So I'm getting topping it off. I'm gonna bleed it, and we'll see if we got heat. Now, if you watch my radiator video, I talked about full strength and 50-50 antifreeze. This is actually kind of a good deal where you could use 50-50, even though I'm not. Yeah, we're just adding to it. We're not really changing it all out. So I do still have some distilled water, so I guess I'll half it up best I can. We didn't lose a whole lot of water. Or coolant, I should say. We got maybe, I was going to say a gallon in our drain pan. It's looking pretty good there. A little bit more coolant, rather more coolant than water. Plus we're going to lose a little bit when we bleed it here. Alright, we're going to open our bleeder screw, which is right there. I don't know if you can see it. I think a little piece of wire loom is blocking it. This is a 7mm, and if you watched my radiator video, you already know I grabbed an 8mm socket, and that wasn't it. So yeah, open that up just a little bit. We're going to fire it up, let it run until we see coolant come out of there, and I'll close it off. I got my blower on full speed. I've got my engine coolant temperature displayed up here. If you haven't seen how to do this, you just hold off and up. It'll pop up a menu, scroll up on here to number 8, and hit outside temperature to enter it, and it'll pop up your temperature. Oh, we cycled it up to about 195, 96. The fans come on, cool back down. It's got a little bit of heat in here. Nothing like my tan one. My tan one, it'd be so hot right now I wouldn't even be able to hold the keys. So I don't know. I'm gonna drive around a little bit, kind of thinking maybe heater core is blocked a little bit. I did feel the hoses again. One side's really hot, the other side's warm, but yeah, kind of thinking that's gonna be my problem. Now, a smart thing to have done while I had it all apart, probably blow a little bit of water through the heater core hoses. I didn't do that. I was really betting that this was going to be the problem, or the solution to the problem, I should say. Doesn't look like it. It does have a little bit of heat, which is nice. It's better than what it was. It had zero heat at all. So, I don't know. Maybe that helped a little bit. I got stuff to do, so I'm going to do some driving around. We'll see where it goes from there, I guess. Yeah, isn't really a good fix-it video. I mean, did get a thermostat replacement out of it, so you guys got to figure out how to do that. But didn't fix my problem, unfortunately, so oh well, it is what it is. That'll just be one more video for you guys coming up in the future. So we'll see. It is what it is, I guess. Anyways, appreciate you guys watching. I got some stuff I gotta do. Remember, you won't know what you can do till you try. Sometimes you might not fix your heater. Anyways, see ya. Appreciate you watching.